the success of Yellowjackets is got to be quite satisfying, because what I've noticed as I move along, and I'm much farther along on my path, is that as I get older, I appreciate and enjoy things more. Getting to doing this podcast or whatever, any gig that I have, I kind of appreciate it. It has getting to do the show for Max or hosting the Oscars. It just feels like, I think I would have been so anxious and neurotic about it at a younger age, but now when nice things come along, I can appreciate it more. Do you have that with like Yellowjackets?
I do. I really do. And, I was, I had like sort of my big moment in my 20s and went to all the award shows and all the stuff. And then that sort of stopped, and I didn't really work that much for a while. And then this Yellowjackets thing happened, and then all of a sudden we were going to award shows again and all this stuff. And it was so interesting because this time I could just be like, oh my God, I love that guy. Hey, I'm Christina. And like just be really open and easy and fun. And like, it was like you said, like I wasn't so self-conscious, and I wasn't so worried about everything. I didn't take myself as seriously as I used to, and so it's actually it has been really, really fun.
There's this quote, one of the Bee Gees said, "Second fame is so much better," and I guess the Bee Gees stories, which I didn't even really know. There's an amazing documentary about them, and I didn't really know much about them at all, but it's a fantastic documentary. And I didn't realize they were huge pop stars in the 60s. And then it soured, it like anything. The time passed, and then they're trying to figure it out, and they're bumming around, and they're completely out of it. And they're a once was, and then they reconstitute and become this 70s juggernaut phenomenon, one of the biggest groups of the 70s, if not the biggest. And they were like, oh, it's just much more pleasant the second time around because we know what that is. And so now it can be more about, as you said, you can go to these shows and not be neurotic and freaked out and just enjoy.
It also feels so different now, too. Like just Hollywood in general feels
How does it feel different?
Everybody just seems like happy to be there in a way that wasn't like that in the early 2000s. Everything felt so serious then, and about like power and position and ambition, and it was really serious. And now it just feels like people actually celebrate at these award shows and are like happy to see each other, and there's enough room for everybody. And I feel like it was so much smaller before that it didn't feel like there was enough room for everybody. And it just has like a much nicer feeling, I think, in general.
Something too about maybe the fact that the business has changed so much.
Yeah.
When you came up, but still, we're talking about a limited number of networks. There's no streaming.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and now if you've got a good idea, there's a good chance you can get it out there somewhere. I mean, even the natures of movies has changed where it's not the giant blockbuster. And there's a plus and minus to that's at the award shows, but there is less of a feeling of it's a small club that a few people are allowed into.
Yeah.
So many people can have a great idea, get it on YouTube, get it out there. If they've got talent and ability, they can find a streamer, they can find a way to get their vision made. And it just feels a little more user-friendly now.
Yes, it's softer and gentler and it's less desperate.
Yeah, unless you want to shoot in Los Angeles.
Well, then, I mean, honestly.
That's getting weird.
I don't actually know how anyone makes that happen.
It's really getting, I mean, not to take things down, but that is a big change that's happened. Is people will shoot something that takes place in Los Angeles on Hollywood and Vine, and they'll go up to Nova Scotia to shoot it and recreate Hollywood and Vine and put your star, Christina Ricci.
I'm sorry, I will not allow that. You do not. They moved it
an hour ago. They moved it an hour ago.
Putting my foot down
without telling you.
Either shoot in L.A. or
that's the kind of power I've got in this town.
Can't have my star in your movie.
What's it like? Because with Yellowjackets, you have this interesting thing where your character Misty, you're playing as an adult, but also there's an actress who's playing you as a child or a kid. I shouldn't say child, but as a teenager. Yeah, as a kid. To me, at 85. It still seems like a child because I'm doing that thing where I want to say I'm 85 now just to get used to it.
Yeah, I've already started. I'm going as far as 87. So anytime I can't work anything,
I love that.
Anytime I can't work anything, I'm like, well, I'm basically 87 when it comes to technology. And the more I say it, like the more I'm feeling more comfortable.
I love that you're 2 years older than me.
I'm older than you.
Is it Sammy Hanratty? Is that the actress who plays you? And it's interesting. I don't know how much do you have communication with the actress who plays younger you to try and see if anything needs to line up, or is that overthinking it?
Well, we did in the very beginning. We shot the pilot and then COVID happened. So it was about almost a year and a half later that we actually went to series. And so she and I met up to discuss, we're really, really different people personality-wise. Like it's surprising how different we are. And so we sort of compared notes, the different performance notes that we've been given, because it was interesting to hear what they wanted to correct or were worried about. Because, she's a very bubbly, dynamic, charming, sweet person. And so to hear what they were concerned was going to come out in her performance was interesting to me. And then to hear what they were afraid I was going to do was very interesting as well. So, mine was all about, no, she's charming and everyone loves her and all she wants is love and she's human. And hers were Kathy Bates from Misery. And you know what I mean? So it just was really funny.
There's a rumor that they put her on depressants. We got to reach you up a little bit. We're putting you on a massive dose of depressants.
Yeah, they were trying to make me more adorable and her less adorable. And so by doing that, we both felt like we understood where the parameters were for the character. But beyond that, we never really. I'm very sensitive about not being condescending. I even have trouble complimenting people because I feel like it's condescending. And I guess I don't know why, but I just do. So anytime the idea of giving another actress performance advice or notes to me just sounds like really I'm overstepping my place.
Yeah.
So we both have our own performances, and when you think about it too, 30 years.
30 years and a lot of intense stuff has
That's
happened.
Right. 30 years of squeezing and rejection and pressure and trauma and all this stuff. You're not going to be the same exact person you were.
Right.
So I think it really does work out. And the writing on the show is really good. And the character is very consistent on the page.
Yeah.
So it's kind of okay for any kind of differences or variations in our performances.